So, welcome to a new feature here on my channel. What I intend to do is I want to take something from the news that's current and discuss it with you guys. Now, as circumstances would have it, I'm only doing one topic in this video. The options I had were potentially doing one video for the entire week's worth of tech news, or just doing one topic per video. As circumstances would have it, I don't have a lot of free time this week, so we're just going to stick with the one topic for this video. Let me know, your feedback would be much appreciated, to let me know if you would rather have a lot of things from the tech world, news from the tech world for that week in that video, or just the one topic. So anyway, as you probably can tell from the title of this video, this is going to cover Windows 10 Cloud, or just Windows Cloud. It's the operating system that Microsoft is coming out with to combat Chrome OS. Now, Chrome OS has been a runaway hit in the education market because of a couple of reasons. Number one, Chromebooks are pretty cheap, which is always good for a school's budget because schools' budgets are always often very tight. So having a low-priced piece of hardware is good to have in your school. Another reason why Chromebooks are good for the education market is that you can't install native apps on them. So you're not going to have viruses, you're not going to have employ somebody to make sure that your computers don't have viruses on them, and all of the headaches that come with that. So Chromebooks are ideal for the education market. They're not overpriced like Apple's products, and they do their intended job, to teach children in a focused way. So Microsoft has tried to combat this with the low-priced Windows 10 laptops, as I have covered here on this channel, the $200 or sub-$200 Windows laptops. And they are very usable devices, the Windows laptops, but they are full-blown Windows 10. And that is going to, give you a whole host of headaches that Chromebooks don't have. So Microsoft is introducing Windows 10 Cloud, or Windows Cloud. So you might, if you're familiar with tech, you might know that Windows had Windows RT when they first introduced the Surface line of tablets. And Windows RT was very similar to the proposed Windows Cloud operating system. It basically can only install apps from the Microsoft Store or the Windows Store on your computer. So those are your start menu apps. So that's the same as Windows RT was, but it's getting a new name, and I assume it's going to run on x86 architecture because Windows RT was an ARM-based processor-only operating system, and ARM are your mobile operating systems, or ARM are your mobile chips for your cell phones and tablets and whatnot, and some Chromebooks actually run on ARM. But that was a differentiator for Windows RT because it actually was on a different architecture hardware-wise than regular Windows, so that was a limitation why you couldn't run full-blown Windows apps on them. So anyway, Microsoft has tried this before, and as far as messaging goes, I think they failed a lot because they just tried to introduce it as Windows, and it confused the marketplace. So will Windows 10 Cloud, or Windows Cloud, confuse the marketplace? I think it's quite possible that it would. I think it might be a good idea for them to replace the word Windows with Microsoft Cloud OS maybe, and that would be enough of a differentiator to let people know this is a different operating system, but it's still by Microsoft. Microsoft is a very well-known brand. I don't think they necessarily have to put the Windows brand on there because I think it will make some confusion there. I'd be interested to see what you guys think, but we'll get to that in a bit. So how is this going to compete with Chrome OS? Well, first of all, I think that competition is always good. It's always good because it makes products better. As long as that competition is fair competition and you don't have one company or one entity exerting undue influence in squashing smaller competition. I think the more the better. That's my theory on it, because if Microsoft gets into this space and is fairly successful with it, it's going to make Chrome OS better because they're going to want to maintain their market lead, at least in the education market. Now, personally, I use a Chromebook pretty much every day. I have mine open right over there, and that's where I had read the story about Windows 10 Cloud. And I like it because I pay my bills on my Chromebook, and I use it just for light web surfing. It's quick to load up, and I think it's a great operating system. And I've had Chromebooks since the beginning, since the CR48. I believe that was the name of it. The CR48 was the first ever Chromebook, and I had entered in Google at the time. They were giving them away, and one showed up on my doorstep here. And you can check out those videos on my channel here about the CR48. Unfortunately, it's very underpowered, and it's not a machine that I would use today. But Chromebooks, on the other hand, I love them. So I'm anxious to see where Microsoft is going with this. I think it's a great idea to have an operating system that you can't necessarily run apps on natively, and I think it's good for certain circumstances. Obviously, it could, for me, speaking personally, I produce videos here. I do a whole lot of other things with computers, so I need a more robust operating system for, editing the videos per se, or having my home theater PC, which is right behind the video, or right behind the video camera here. So I have a need for a more robust operating system. However, I think that there is a place for a cloud-based operating system. Just like I have room for Chromebooks in my life, I'd like to try the Windows variant here. The thing is, though, I think their messaging has to be on point in this scenario, because you can't just throw out another variant of Windows without people really knowing what it is. And calling it Windows 10 Cloud or Windows Cloud, I think is going to, pardon the pun, I think it's going to cloud the message as far as what people expect from this operating system. You're going to find that people are going to walk into their local electronics store, and they're going to see a very low-priced Windows PC, and they're going to buy it because they're going to want to spend the least amount of money and still have a laptop. And then when they get home, they're going to find that they're not going to be able to load the programs that they're very used to and that they're comfortable with, or they might have it already. They're not going to be able to run it on that machine. So I think the messaging has to be on point if Microsoft hopes to make this any bit of a success. So in my mind, I think it should not be called Windows anything. I think it should be Microsoft Cloud OS or something else. So I'm going to end this video by asking you, what do you guys think? Now, I know my channel is very Linux friendly, and you probably might, if you're into Linux, you might hate Windows. Putting that aside, I love variety. I have machines that run all different kinds of operating systems. So, and I like to try new things out too. So putting all of that aside, what do you think of Microsoft Windows 10 Cloud or Windows 10 Cloud or Windows Cloud? What do you think of the name? What do you think of the product? Would you use it? But most importantly, what would you name it? Because I think it's named incorrectly. So please tell me in the comments down below what you think it should be named. The best I can come up with right now is Microsoft Cloud OS, but I'm sure one of you guys has a better idea than I do at this point in time. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you thought of this video, discussing something that's topical in the tech news for the week. And hopefully we can do more of these. Again, I'm not decided if I'm going to make them one video per topic or one topic per video, or if I'm going to do this as, a conglomerate of the entire tech news for the week. I'm kind of leaning towards one topic per video, but you guys tell me what you think. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you want to support this channel, you can share these videos on your favorite social media. You can leave me a thumbs up down below, or you can join my Patreon, all of which is greatly appreciated. And I think I've reached critical beard mass here, so I think I'm going to have to trim this thing. I'm not going to get rid of it just yet, but I think I'm going to have to trim it. I'm looking at the camera right there. It's been an experiment for me, and it is pretty long, I must say. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.